Bill.
Mr. President, I move passage of the bill.
Senator has the floor.
Mr. President, I've said this before and I'll repeat it again. It brings me no joy to present this resolution before you today. Frankly, it was a difficult decision to use a bill slot in this pandemic to do that. However, I think the need to protect the honor of this body is what compelled me to proceed. I want to make it clear, this is not an issue of Democrats versus Republicans. It's not about campaigning or pandering to our bases. For me, this is an issue of right versus wrong. It's an issue of what behavior are elected officials expected to have and senators serving the Commonwealth are expected to uphold. Censorship of members isn't common. It's not a knee-jerk reaction against someone we don't agree with. It's enacted when the actions of an elected official rise to a level where the integrity and honor of our institution is at risk. I say that again, when the behavior puts the honor of our institution at risk. I've tried my best to avoid being here today, and I've discussed that before. I worked with the senior senator from Chesterfield and encouraged her to apologize, which she told me she would. That fell far short of an apology and condemnation, which would have stopped where we're at today. To me, serving in this body is the greatest honor of my life. And I believe the Senate of Virginia and what it stands for is bigger than any one of us. This body was here before us. God willing, it'll be here long after we are gone. Each of us serving today, we had different journeys to get to the seats we sit in today. Some of them were very long and hard. We knocked on many doors in bad weather. We made countless phone calls to fundraise. And most importantly, we took an extreme amount of time away from our families to serve. It's also important to note that many people overcame very difficult and challenging social and racial barriers to serve. All of us have our reasons for why we answered that call to service. For me, it was a chance to serve in the General Assembly, to try to do good for the people in my district, and to do good by working collaboratively with the people in this body from all parts of the Commonwealth. It was an opportunity to make a difference, to be part of something I believe was very special, something which is known as the Virginia Way. Promoted by former House Speaker George Wythe, the Virginia Way embodies the tradition of civility and integrity in public service. In many ways, it's the legislator's golden rule. It's the antithesis of shouting matches, winner-take-all politics, selfishness. It's built on a foundation of service before self. For over 400 years, members of the General Assembly, regardless of differences in worldview, regardless of passion on any issue, have followed the Virginia Way and have served the public according to one another respect and civility. Our military academies have honor codes. As an officer trainee, I was sworn to uphold an honor code, which said I will not lie, cheat, steal, or tolerate among us anyone who does. While we don't have the same honor code in the Virginia General Assembly, the question before us today, where is our line of behavior drawn? And what will we tolerate? Some may ask where a specific behavior of a senator is defined. In response, aside from the previous description of the Virginia Way, I'll also quote Justice Potter Stewart's famous response to his ruling on how obscenity related to free speech when he wrote that he wouldn't exactly attempt to define what obscenity was, but he said, "I know it when I see it." I'm not going to read the items that are in this resolution, but I ask each of you to read them and then decide if you believe this is the conduct that is becoming a Virginia senator. In closing, I strongly believe serving in the Senate, as a senator in the Commonwealth of Virginia must be honorable. Members of the General Assembly have been called keepers of the flame. which is a responsibility I hold sacred. As Virginia senators, we must be held accountable for our behavior and our words. And as senators in this body, I believe we must be held to a higher standard. Unfortunately, I believe the numerous comments and behaviors of the senior senator from Chesterfield are unbecoming of a senator, and for the good of the body and to protect the long-standing honors and traditions of this institution, I believe this censure action must be passed. I renew my motion for passage.